Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Yeah, it's getting colder outside. That's all right though, because we're in kind of wrap up mode from the summer work projects. I want to show you guys a few things here. So, you know, we completed the interior swap on Big Red the other day, and I didn't bother filming it. You see that? The plow mount is fully installed. Yep, gave it a fresh coat of black paint and just kind of help it out a little bit. So, also finished up the wiring install for the controller and everything. So yeah, we're ready to snowplow with Big Red this year. So that whole deal is done. Take it right off the list. And as long as we're at it here today, we have a little bit of time this evening before it gets dark. We have these two little guys right here. If you remember back to the field land clearing project, rescued both of these from the sand knob as we were clearing. So it's nice and cold outside. They're pretty much dormant now, and this is the time of year I like to transplant these. So let's get those things in the ground. Wow, the trees are getting big enough, it's getting tough to drive the truck between them. We're not quite scraping doors yet, but it's close. So before I headed out, I got the shovel, gonna need that, and I got a bucket of our good compost. That's a lot of decomposed leaves, garden waste, stuff like that. After about 3-4 years, it turns into some really nice, almost like a potting soil. And just for good measure, went down to the pond, got me some dirty pond water. That's all right. I need a little bit to throw in onto them when I put those in the ground, but let's go over here for a minute. So we've had a lot going on the last couple weeks off camera. A lot of stuff that I really couldn't film, but you can see here we have the fresh gravel on the road surface all the way as far as we can see. And here we are, top of the hill. This is about where the road used to end. It came this far before, and you see that? We've got the entire road put on in. That was something that of course happened while I was at work, so I wasn't around to catch any of that action, but it's a good 10 to 12 inch compacted gravel layer with the geotech matting beneath it. Kind of gives you a little bit of a barrier between the road gravel and everything underneath. That's the exact same system I put in up to there 5 years ago now, and it's just been perfect. So we did the same thing on out here, and you can see here where we dive on off down to the dirt work area down there where the shed's going. But the next leg of this is going to keep going straight off of here and right to the top of that hill right up there. That's not going to happen this year. My priority was just to get good road all the way down to where I've been working to the new shed building site. And we come all the way down the road here, nice and wide through there. It was only going to be like a 13-foot wide road. We're a solid 16 looking at it here. They had to taper the edges off pretty good, but yeah, perfect approach down the hill. Right to where we've been working, right to where the building's going to be. So that is a major item, been ticked off the list this year. And of course, y'all remember the French drain I put in, goes under that road now. I didn't want to have to fool with a ditch or a culvert or anything. We're going to see how that works. So far it's been doing great. We haven't had any water collecting here in this old low spot at all. And of course, who could forget the rock feature and the Cat 20 placed proudly up on top. And like we discussed, this is PL number 134. One interesting development in the comment section, Caterpillar Chris puts a note, or puts a comment beneath the walk around video 134 here, and he says, nice 20. I have PL 133 currently being refurbished here in the UK. So I never ever dreamed one of the sister tractors to this was still around. 133 came off the line just ahead of 134 here. 133 went over to the UK. 134 was shipped pretty much back to where it came out of the ground, northern Minnesota here. And he went on to say that 133 appears to have had a much easier, better life than poor 134 here. But that is really cool that those two machines back to back are still here. I mean, after just about 100 years, they're both still here. I was really surprised by that. I thought that was just so cool. But getting back on track, those are another two items right there we got ticked off the list for the summer. That's something I've been wanting to do for a long time, and last summer when I made this swale here and I cleared all that nasty brush used to be there, and we just had those 3 trees left, I thought, that's the spot. That's where I want that. So that's done. As long as we're in the neighborhood here, yeah, Rick Bork still has 756 here. He might take it home someday. Maybe it's mine. I don't know. It might be mine by now. Possession 9/10, all that stuff. But yeah, I did get some new ground engaging bits for the old cultivator. You can see this one lost its point. This guy even decided to go rogue, sitting kind of crooked. And yeah, this thing has ripped so many nasty rocks out of the ground in the last 3 years. It's ready for some refurb, some rehab. That's going to be a next spring, next summer item. And we got tumblebug still here. I need to pull the trip ropes off this real quick. I don't like leaving them out in the weather long term. There, when the trip ropes are off the tumblebug, that means the guns have finally fallen silent. And you see the trailer here, that large white seed bag on it. I think I hear an orange tractor just over the hill. Let's go have a look. Yep, there's Rick Bork. Looks like he's pulling the cultimulcher across the field. Another big item off the list. We turned this whole field over. He's yelling something at me. I can't even tell right now. Good thing he's far enough away. I'd have to censor it. But yeah, we had quite a crew show up and got this whole thing turned over. He's finished with the disking. He's going to cultimulch and he's going to throw that big bag of seed in there, and we'll see what grows next spring. Another big ticket item done. Okay, let's plant some trees. So here's where this guy's gonna live. Got the hole dug already. Throw some of the nice black dirt down in the bottom. Give him a little bit of a head start. Let's see if we can't get him loosened up here. There we go. See how he sits down in there. Probably build that bottom up a little bit more. Check it now. Yeah, that's pretty good. Got a little bit of a splash to start with. Looks like he's sitting upright fairly well. I like the backfill with this nice black dirt too. Make sure there's no air voids anywhere around. If anything, keeps rodents and whatnot, insects out of there so they can't get at any roots. I don't know how many times I've done this out here. I think I just saw a little snowflake fly by. I don't know how many times I've done this out here. When I put all these trees in, they were all about 6 inches tall. Just little saplings. And some of them are in excess of 12 feet now. It doesn't take them very long, but that first year was so dry all summer long. I think my attrition rate was close to 30%, so I did a lot of replanting out here, filled a lot of gaps in the line, and still had these 2 gaps left here, and finding these or rescuing these from the sand knob over there just worked out perfect. A little bit dirty there. It's just mud. Give him one more little shot. All right. Okay, so to finish up, we need to bud cap them now, because if we leave these unprotected, the deer will come along and chew on them. They like these leaders, and it doesn't matter if they chew on the ones around the perimeter, because that's just going to make it bushier, but you don't want them to chew on the leader bud or the top one, because otherwise it turns into a bush. It's not going to be a tree anymore, because it stops all upward growth and it just starts going out at that point. So I used to cap all nearly 300 of these every fall out here before they got about 4 feet tall. 4 to 5 feet tall is when the deer can't really get to them anymore. But we just have this just regular paper. Oops, I got 2 pieces there. That's just printer paper. It's biodegradable in case they fly off or get ripped off before I come along next spring and take them off. But you just basically wrap that center leader bud right in the middle of it, push all the needles off to one side, and then office supplies, just a stapler. I do a 45 degree in the top corner, I do a 90 right in the middle, and I do another 45 in the bottom corner. Make sure you staple with all the needles going through. That's what holds it on. That way the deer can't come off and just come around and pull it off of there. So we'll go around and hit all the rest of the trees here that need to be protected on the leader. Like I say, they're less than 5 feet tall. So it's kind of crazy to think not that many years ago I brought all these trees home in a single cardboard box. And yeah, like some of these, look at this guy here. That's one that I planted. I bet that's 15 feet tall already. But they do well down along this edge down here. Here's one. It's probably not worth it, but I'm going to cap it anyway, because if we get some snowpack down here, the deer might be able to reach that leader. There. He's protected. Down here, I think they did pretty well. There's not much for smaller transplanters in the line. Here's one right here. You can see he's a little bit shorter. That's one that I think I put in about 3 years ago now. Had to fill a gap. Yeah, for the most part, I've capped probably a dozen throughout all 4 rows. Yeah, down here I know they're all good, so I think we're done with that. Well, we've got one final task out here on the field for the year. This is it. So, got our box, and over here, I don't know if you guys remember or not, but where we started out here, I think back in April now, cleaning the old farm dump. And all of those glass bottles we found out here, they're still laying there. They've been out here the whole summer, and I don't know if I brought a big enough box for all that stuff. We got to get those picked up here tonight. So kind of one of those full circle moments. You can see the sun just about down over there. We're just kind of wrapping up where we began out here this year. So let's get it done. I think we'll fit them all in here. Maybe. These are the only ones I think I might keep. These old half pints. I still like this. Federal law prohibits sale or reuse of this bottle. That's an oldie. They say that. Got 4 of them here to put up on the shelf. Boy, we worked hard out here this year. Got a nice road in here now. Building spot prepped and ready down there. I can see Rick Bork's starting a new collection out here on the running gear. You see that? Those aren't antique right there. Rick Bork, I tell you. But it was a lot of hard work, but we had a lot of fun too. Got to use some of our old tractors and equipment. It's the last one. There. Farm dump is cleaned up.